So we're back, and we're all done making the coffee. It's been about maybe a week or two, and I have my first brew, second brew, and I like to put them in milk boxes, because milk bottles, because it's a really strong bottle, and with this mix, you want to use about an ounce per cup of coffee. With this, it's going to be about an ounce and a half per cup of coffee. So what we're going to do is do a recipe, and my recipe for mocha. Show you how I do it. So I get my fancy Starbucks cup and use an ounce of this. Measure out. Actually, 2 ounces, because I'm making a pint. Okay.
Tell them that a pint is 2 cups.
Pint is 2 cups. Thank you, able assistant. 16 ounces. And then I put in some cocoa powder. Now there's 2 types of cocoa powder. There's regular, which is cheaper, and there's Dutch cocoa. Dutch means that it's been treated with lye some way, and that makes it darker and a little stronger, and usually more expensive. Otherwise you can get just the regular, which is a lot lighter brown and not quite as strong. I use about 3/4 of a teaspoon to 2 cups of coffee. Then I use some sugar to kind of balance the bitterness of the chocolate. This is actually xylitol. That's what I use, and it's derived from birch trees.
Oops, wait, hold it back up.
There you go.
Okay.
This is my inexpensive brand, Swanson. It has 10 calories per teaspoon versus regular sugar, which has many calories per teaspoon, so that's why I use that. Tastes is pretty close to the same. And then, if you like creamy coffee, which I do, you can add some half and half, about an ounce. If you don't want any fat in your coffee, you can skip that step. And then I put in milk, almost all the way up. Because I put in powder instead of using a regular chocolate syrup, the powder is very kind of difficult to mix in. So I don't fill it up to the top until I'm done stirring it somewhat. You can use a whip, those wire whips, for stirring it in, but since wire whip's hard to clean, I usually just use a spoon. And fill it up the rest of the way with milk. And that's done. That's it. Now if you want it hot, you could use the same mixture and put it in a heat-proof cup and put it in the microwave. But if you put it in the microwave, you have to keep an eye on it, because milk, once it gets to the boiling point, will froth right over the top very quickly. So that'll make a total mess of your microwave if you're not paying attention. So we also made some coffee in this, where we just put the coffee grinds in, water, let it sit overnight, and then experimented with how it tasted. If I was comparing it with this other type, this would be the first run, very concentrated. This is second. You use 1.5 times. This would be third or fourth. This you'd mix about half and half with whatever size coffee you're making. So it's watered down more, but the taste was fine, and it's definitely a cheaper method if you don't have a coffee maker. And what I did when I was done was used a regular coffee filter to pour it through so that I could get out any of the extra particles of coffee grinds. And that's that. You want to keep your filter that you're using in the coffee maker floating in, soaking in either cold water in the fridge, or I use whiskey, as I said before, to keep it disinfected, and it's safe. So the concentrate can keep in the refrigerator for about 10 weeks. If you have a lot extra and you're not going through it very quickly, you can put it in the freezer and freeze it, and it'll last a long, long time. So you can do that as well. The other thing you can do with the concentrate, basically you can use it just like you would a shot of espresso. It's not quite the same taste, but it's a good taste. So you can pour it over ice cream, or make other desserts, or I made some Kahlua with it, and that worked out great. And I guess that's it. Happy birthday, and I'm glad that you got all the things that were sent over by the movers, and that's all I got.